With is I see like a lot of ballroom activities that are going on in this country, and even though those activities might be replicating a lot of things that might not feel like ours, but it's a certain level of the fact that a lot of people have come to the point where they can now represent themselves. They can now they will. I've been to a couple of drag events in Lagos, Nigeria, and one of the things I noticed, because most of them I have been like backstage, I noticed that you see a lot of queer drag that look very strict and straightforward in real life. When you see them backstage, you know that they are at home. You know that they are at home. Like, these people here are their mothers, their fathers, their siblings, their brothers, their sisters. This is where they feel at home. Yeah. That's backstage. Whatever you see during the runway is totally different from what happens backstage. Yeah. There is home. There is this feeling of being together. And I can see a lot of people, even straight people, are copying queer culture to gain some relevance. And like, I'm looking at this and we feel like a lot of the times when we do our activism work, we feel like we've not done enough. But I used to tell a lot of people in this space that sometimes come on from your professional circle. Me personally, there is a reason I attend raves. I attend raves because I do not just attend for the party. I love EDMs. But I come back, I feel like I enjoy the music. I always take like 10 to 15 minutes every 30 minutes to go back and observe the people I'm seeing there. And I'm seeing queer boys, queer girls, absolutely in love, doing very, very, like, I'm like, am I still in this country? And then I look back, this is the work that we activists have done to the point where people are trying to create spaces for queer people. People are recognizing, there are a lot of even publications, social media pages that are talking about queer people. They are giving queer people jobs. A lot of queer people now have opportunities to work in certain places because of the activism that has been done. A lot of organizations are working with even mainstream organizations to put in queer people, to put in queer voices in certain space. And even though it's not publicly shown as a queer voice, there's some form of representation there. When we are in community see it, we know it. And that is what is more important. We are not pandering to the mainstream society. Yeah. We are creating spaces where other queer people would see and know that this is a space that I, as a queer person, can fully conform to and be part of. I can feel at home. And whenever I look back, I'm like, when 2020 I did not see any of this happening, even in Lagos. But now I'm seeing like the highest anybody, a lot of people would say on the road, even Agberos, I would have been a certain form of xenophobe. Like, they are no longer being, Agbero will see you maybe dressed different. They'll be like, African. It's sensitization for violence and more like curiosity. And that's a win for us. Forget government, because if we can be able to, government is already messing up the lives of average Nigerians, so we do not have to conform for them. Every time you look around and you see queer people winning, that's our win. That's all of us win. And so yeah.
Also, very quickly, I need to add that we're penetrating spaces, creative spaces, writing. I don't mention names, but you guys already know the powerhouse mag, right? The Z something mag. They are very, very, very out there understanding for queer people. There was a time they had a particular show was meant to be for traditional women. So homophobes thought, only to realize that queer people were there, LBQ women were there. And then they came back on Twitter and they had issues. They were going down hard on them and they're still around till today. All right. I currently am lead editor and proofreader of a particular, the biggest literary organization, a magazine in a very big, popular federal university. They had a strike recently. I don't mention the name, right? And, and the one thing I found out was most of the submissions I got that I worked on were very Sogiesque oriented. I had the chills, I'll be honest. I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere. The feature this guy's work, eBay's Blessing, right? I preferred eBay's blessing, his interview and everything, right? So I really feel like we're penetrating spaces and people really need us to really stay relevant, like you rightly said. So that's a big win, please.
And they should stop wearing a crop top.
Fashion.
Outfit, because please don't be, and you cannot be homophobic and still dress like that.
So there are ways we can. Okay, so we're not profiling, forgive me please, but there are ways you could easily tell the very queer person away from the average straight person. Fashion sense, the way they think, the way they see life, the way they even eat, the way some Liulas, the way they text. Yes. There is a finery of etiquette the average queer person has that the straight person doesn't have. When we come down to hygiene, it's sounding sexist. It's not sexist, it's the truth. The care the average queer boy child pays to their body, you would not see with a grown straight person. I study people, it's my work, I know what I'm saying. So, and these are things that they see and they start to mirror. And very quickly, addendum, I think we need to get to a point where we need to understand that the chromosomes is not just X, it's X and Y for each person. So it's okay when you see people who are mask presenting 1 minute and the next minute they're being, don't make them feel bad. Yeah. But getting to that point where it's not really healthy. You see a lady who presents a certain kind of way, femme, and next thing she's been installed and you're like, why they do, wait, pick one side. No, it's an XY thing. It's an XY thing, and authenticity requires that you be what you are. And ideally, we're not unidirectional. Now, man and woman bonus. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a lot of organizations in Nigeria that are doing a lot for LGBTQIA plus persons, but there are also people that are not aware that this organization exists. So how do we share this information? How do we let people know that we have organizations that do a lot and they are offering free services also for them?
As someone that works for an organization, we need to also realize, as queer organizations, there are humans working for these organizations, and we as organizations, we talk about safety and security. We have to practice what we preach. So I think that a lot of queer Nigerian organizations are trying very much to put themselves out there and also considering safety and security. Looking around you, we need community to actually put the word out there. You're in WhatsApp groups, you are in social circles where at least 2 to 3 people that you know are queer persons. Talk to them, relate with them, share information that you know with them. Another way is that a lot of queer people need to realize that you don't have to know an organization only when you have a problem. You need to grow familiarity with organizations as a normal community members.
True.
Yeah, because we are all minority persons in this country and we don't know when problems will come. If you do not build those rapport, build your knowledge. Me, if I want something, if I know that, I'm going to need money in 10 years, I'm already preparing how I would need that money right now by working, by putting. So if I know as a queer person, I am at risk in different ways, I'm going to have a queer organization that will come for me legally. I will have a queer organization that comes for me health-wise. I will have a queer organizations that come for me socially. I have those network. Me personally, before I even came to this space as an employee, I started as a social, like going to organizations events, going online. In fact, when I started even knowing about queer organizations as proper, I went to Google and I was like, queer organization, NGO, queer, LGBTQI, queer. That's what I did. And I started like looking like Owerri, queer, Lagos, queer. You would surely see something. And then from there you are like, these are people that you've seen in those square. So you follow them on Instagram. You don't even need to even follow the organizations per se. Follow people that follow these organizations and participate in the activities that they do. From there you would even get like different affiliations. So build your network before you have problems, because a lot of the times as square persons we tend to associate with organizations only when we have problems. True. And it's wrong. We need to, now that you are in a state of rest, follow those organizations, learn what they are doing. So when you even want to reach out to them, they are familiar with you, because we are also thinking about our own safety. So if you as a stranger just comes and say, oh, I need help, I would have so many questions. How did you find me? All those things. So if you have built a rapport for a certain time, maybe they've seen you even like their page once, or even comment one time on their page, and you send them a message, I need help. There's no way that consciousness is not raised that you are familiar to the community. So build familiarity before you have problems. Don't always reach out to organizations when you have problems.
Also, I know this is going to be very disruptive. I think you're actually coming from a place of you have access to technology. So I'm trying to picture somebody that lives in Ikotekpene in the village that does not have access to the internet and cannot read and write. How do they connect to organizations and seek help in this context? This is just, food for thought for us as an activist, because I feel like our work, I keep saying, our work needs to be very ingrained, needs to be very grassroots. I remember feedback from the research that I did was that some people do not even have access to phone. They don't even know how to access Google Doc. What is Google Doc? What is internet-enabled phone? It was worrisome for me. And these are queer people, right? So I'm just looking at how do we create our activism and advocacy to ensure that even people in the villages can reach out to us in the urban area and say, yo, I'm in Ikotekpene. My life is in danger. How do you comfort for me? I think that is some of the things that we need to retrospect about in this app.
True. Okay, so let's talk about normally, say before you even walk runway for Nigeria, you got to be either a man or be woman. But something happened, and respect to, and then it's a sad thing that happened after that, but we give respect to late Fola Francis. She actually, walked through that, and then she brought queer persons to the spotlight, where I would not even think that a trans person would walk a runway, Lagos Fashion Week runway, So this is like me. I used to do pageantry sometime, and then I have to conform. You must macho. And then at some point I'm like, can I just be me? You get. But Fola Francis took that step, and then she walked the runway, and it was, a groundbreaking ceremony. It was a groundbreaking event for the queer community. And so this is me asking that, do we think that at some point at all that Nigerian laws, or there'll be laws that would also, accept queer people for the way they are? Do you think that the way activism is going right now, we're going to get to a state where, we're really comfortable? Some things are not as they are right now. People are comfortable expressing themselves as they should be, as they should express, and all of those things. Do you think there is a headway at all? That this tunnel that we're going through, is there light at the end of it?
So I think there is light, even though it seems very farther than we can see. But then, of course, speed of light, we can still see tiny, tiny more. However, citing, again, respect to the very, very, great Fola Francis, who paved way, trailblazer Fola Francis. Someone else directed runway shows a number of times, creative directed. I would tell you that I'm so sorry you felt that way, the way you felt back then and everything. But I know that, again, it's an industry saturated by queer people. Let's stop deceiving ourselves, please. And most of the time, there's a certain self-care you have to give your body to look a certain kind of way. The average street person doesn't have the zeal, doesn't have the choose to these things. Of course, it comes back again, the queer people to save the grace of beauty in the world. Forgive my shade, it's just me being honest, right? Yeah, saving beauty and everything. And I remember I would always tell these young people, youngins, this was in the school where I schooled, right? I directed a particular fashion show for students, fashion designers, and it was very, very mighty mad. One of the designers is currently, I think in the UK, she's one of my best designers ever. She's, I've got taste too, I'll be honest. And my point here is, they were people that they would come ask me, And my partner ran it actually. And they would be like, oh, my partner is like a catwalk instructor, very skilled and all that. Like, oh, but they can't do man walk and everything. Is there a way I could incorporate? I'd be like, yeah, I want unconventional walking. And then you see the men, presenting men, come onto the runway, wearing men whatever, and then strutting and sashaying and everything. And people were clapping. In a school, in a particular area where I tried inviting a particular powerhouse, I'm not going to mention it, but when you talk about modeling, African modeling and fashion to the world, that's the number one name you think of. And he told me through his manager, he's a Yoruba guy, I was like, no fit come, that place, we no fit come. But yet people were applauding them and like, no, this is beautiful. That was one of a number of, things that we did then. And my point basically is we're really, really getting there. But the point again now is I'm going back to my very, very first statement, selectivity, however I would call it. They would now start to make it seem like, if you're working, no problem, just do your life. You're relevant, Abby. Yeah, no problem. There is a selectivity to it. The way parents would really easily yell at their children, like their parents, our children, like go away and everything. They can't do that anymore. Because low key now, we know the truth, sadly, is most African parents make their children retirement plans. And then the smart child can take the parents to ransom by being readily available. It's not easy though, but there is a way you could really do those things. And then when the parent knows saying, now this one they give me gari where they chop, you know go on send that come out now, you know go on get issues with time. All right. Also at places of work, when the average queer person does just a beat, we know there's something about queer people, we overdo. But the thing is, we don't see it as overdoing. We see it as barest minimum. I don't know if you've observed the way you put up, because there's a multi-layer of oppression on us. So we want to prove a lot of points by default. So the way people are grinding to do things, we're over grinding because we just want to let people know now we sabi this thing. So in most cases, we always come out the top. We always come out distinct. And as a result, people have no choice but to really pally with us. So in a way, it's not really what we want to be, but we're getting there because people have no choice but to really do what we want. People have no choice but to cohabit with us. People have no choice but to, this guy's a bit cuckoo. And just, there's just something about us that really make people make compromise whatever it is with us. And it really is helping us. So yeah, we're making a headway.
Esther, would you like to share thoughts? Yes.
You said a lot of my stuff because me looking back at queer people from early 2000s to now, there's so much acceptability, there's so much consciousness to the fact that you need a lot of queer people. Look at fashion, like queer people are the ones.
Yeah.
Beauty, queer people are the ones. They even in the food industry,
queer people are also the ones there.
These things. And if you continue to marginalize these people, we can't build our full potential.
Sorry to cut you short. Let's go to the choir. Queer people are the ones there. The best talents in the choir. There are some people sitting there, they're feeling shy. The best talents in the choir, they're queer people. I'm a voice coach and I know what I'm saying. So go on, please. Let's stop deceiving ourselves.
You need to be in the consciousness that when you remove these people that know how to do this is best, we are losing, like as a country, we are losing even homophobia. As a country, we are losing so many talents to other countries that are acceptable for homosexual people because we do not accept them here. I've seen a lot of amazing queer talents that have left this country because of homophobia, and they're doing so well in different industries. And now that they have so much opportunities, it is even harder for them to. You see a lot of queer people that maybe in fashion abroad, they're like, oh, you are good in fashion here in Nigeria. Instead of them like trying to invest back in Nigeria, they'll tell you, oh yeah, you that is good, let me pack you out. They don't spend money. Queer people spend so much money to do scholarships, to find scholarships to carry other queer people out. And we are losing talent. It means that as a country, we're losing young people that have talent. And at some point, because of how our economy is set right now, we have to, if we don't gain the consciousness by common sense, we will gain it by experience, by painful experience, which is sadly what Nigeria is heading towards, the point where we would have no knowledgeable young people because of our different marginalization. We would have no young people that are here that are serious about making it work here in Nigeria because there's so much laws that do not accept young people doing these things.
True.
Part of it is the SSMPA.
Yeah.
So if Nigerian does not realize it by common sense, we will realize it by experience. That light at the end of the tunnel, we will get there. But we'll get there either by common sense or by experience.
True.
The thoughts, William.
Do you really want to hear my thoughts? Okay, so I think we'll get there. We'll get there at some point. For the fact that a whole lot of queer people are striving in different spaces, that is liberating enough. I mean, we wake up every day and we see, skits and all of those things, and we know these people personally, and they are striving. I'm like, maybe my sister be that. It's something. Yeah, it gives you like, I can be anything, right? And going back to like what Esther said the other time about investing in our talent here, I think we really need to come back here. We need to invest in our talent here. We need to empower people. I don't think traveling, relocating should be like, it should be, you should be, but then it should not also be. Do you get? It should not also be. It should not also be. I'm sorry. It should not also be. So we need to invest. For Fola Francis, I think Fola Francis walking the runway was a big win.
Yeah.
It was very audacious. And I like the fact that regardless of the tongue lashing, she gave them.
And let's also note that Fola Francis also opened way for a lot of queer TikTokers to start doing TikTok.
Yes, she did.
TikTok content of get ready with me, a day in my life.
Yeah.
That was where it was Fola
Yeah,
Francis
true.
content. So it was very nice to see.
All it takes is a trailblazer. All it takes is just one person to just stick their neck out and be like, oh, okay, that's it.
Thank you so much, everybody. It's been a wonderful ride. It's been very educational. It's been very emotional. It's been very, thoughtful of all of us, and I'm sure that our viewers and our listeners have actually learned and unlearned and relearned. Yeah. So like we'd say in nursery school, I hope that with these few points of mine. Thank you, Remi. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, William, for actually gracing, this very show for us today. And to our listeners, thank you for being there. Also, drop your comment and suggestion. Please do that on our social media pages as displayed on the screen. And also remember to subscribe. Join us again next time on Full Spectrum Podcast. Bye for now.